Today we will learn about the recurrence relationship of the central moments or a Renoski formula. Now, a Renoski formula gives you the relationship between or explains you the relationship between mu r plus 1, mu r and mu r minus 1. And now today we are going to apply this in binomial distribution, and let's have a look at what formula or what relationship we will arrive connecting all these three moments. So now we are going to find out the relationship. So to begin with, I'm going to consider mu r. Now mu r, what is mu r? Mu r is the rth central moment of x. Yes. Now I hope you all remember the formula of mu r. What is it? Expectation of x minus expectation of x, the whole raised to r, which is equal to expectation of x minus, so instead of this expectation of x, I hope you know what is the expectation of x in a binomial distribution. What is it? NP, right? So x minus NP, I'm going to substitute NP over here, the whole raised to r, which is equal to, now if I expand this, I hope you know the, again you know or you have studied about the what, the formula for expectation of x, right? So summation x minus np the whole raised to r into f of x, right, which is equal to summation x minus np the whole raised to r. Here f of x, what is f of x? Yes, ncx p raised to x q raised to n minus x. Now I'm going to rewrite this as summation x minus np the whole raised to r ncx p raised to x. Instead of q, I will write 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x. I hope that is not a problem for you. I know you all know the reason why I wrote 1 minus p instead of q. Okay, now we have arrived over here, but this is only what mu r. What is our aim? Yes, our aim is to find out the relationship between mu r plus 1 and mu r minus 1. So for that I am going to do a little magic. What is that magic? I am going to differentiate your mu r with respect to p. Okay, now let's have a look at what happens when we differentiate mu r with respect to p. Okay, so when I differentiate mu r with respect to p, I get summation ncx. I'm going to open a bracket. I'm going to differentiate this whole term. So before differentiating this whole term, I just want to give you a small note. That's what something I hope you have like looked into this part, but you might be confused. What is this? Yes. Now this is something that you have studied in your higher secondary classes when you study about differentiation, or you might have studied in your last year in your maths class. When there are three terms, now here you might be wondering why this NCX is not considered. No, I'm not going to consider NCX right now. I'm only going to consider this term, that is x minus np the whole raised to r, p raised to x, 1 minus p raised to n minus x. So that's why I took the NCX outside. Now here for me, x minus np the whole raised to r is your f, then p raised to x is g, and 1 minus p raised to n minus x is h. So when I differentiate these three terms, usually what do you do when there are three terms? Yes, you will differentiate the first term and you will keep the other two terms as it is, right? Plus you will differentiate the second term and then you will keep the first and the third term as it is. Then plus differentiate the last term or the third term and you keep the first and the second term as it is. Now that is what you do, right? Similarly, we are going to apply this thing over here. So let's see what we get. Now my f is this, f, g and h, right? So I'm not going to confuse you more. Yeah. So the first term or the f term, now I'm going to differentiate this and I'm going to keep this p raised to x and this third term as it is. Okay, so let's see, when I differentiate I get r into x minus np the whole raised to what r minus 1 multiplied by minus m. Right, this is what you get. Into, you keep your p raised to x as it is, multiplied by 1 minus p raised to m minus x. Right, now I am going to give a small bracket so that I don't confuse myself, neither I don't want you to be confused. So this is your first term when you differentiate, that is this thing. Now plus the differentiation is not over, you have to find out this thing. So I keep, again I am going to open a small bracket, x minus np the whole raised to r multiplied by p raised to x. Now I am going to differentiate p raised to x. So what is p raised to x? X into p raised to x minus 1 multiplied by 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x. Okay, I'm going to close this bracket plus the last and the final term. What is it? X minus np the whole raised to r p raised to x. Now 1 minus p. Now what should I differentiate now? This one, right? Now how will I differentiate it? Yes, minus x into 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x minus 1 multiplied by minus 1. Oh, quite a long term. So I just close the bracket, and then there is one more bracket, the square bracket. Right now we have arrived at a point where we got three big terms, right? When we differentiated mu r with respect to p. Now when I closely observe those three terms, we can find out that we will find that there are two terms that are negative in signs. The first term and I think the third term. Yes, first and the third term. So what I did in the next step is that I brought the first and the third term to be last term, and the only positive term in those three terms were in the second term, and I wrote the second term as the first term. So I hope you are a little bit confused right now, but I would suggest you to go back to the last line and then just check that out so that you might get an idea what I have said just earlier. So the first term, the second term in the last step was positive. So for me, for better calculation or for arriving to my conclusion in an easy way, I brought that second term as the first term, and then the other two negative terms are placed here as second and third terms respectively. Okay, so that confusion is over. Now I know you are confused a bit more. That's fine. Now what I am going to do is, there are many common terms that you see in these three terms. Okay, so first I am going to consider only this term, that is this first term and second term. I am not going to touch this third term. Okay, so I am going to take the common factors or the common things in the first and second term outside. So let's have a look at that. Summation NCX. In the first term, the common factor is x minus np the whole raised to r, which you will also find in the second term. So I'm going to take that outside, x minus np the whole raised to r. Okay, then I'm going to consider this p raised to thing. So in first term it is p raised to x minus 1. Now I'm going to take p raised to x minus 1. So from here also I am going to take p raised to x minus 1 itself. So that in the second term, here you will have a p when you write the further equation. Now again multiplied by, I am going to take this 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x minus 1. So because you have in the second term you have this n minus x minus 1, I am going to take that also outside. So what will I get after that? After that I will get, when I take x minus np the whole raised to r, p raised to x minus 1, 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x minus 1 from the first term. Final thing I get over here is x, p raised to x minus 1 is already taken, 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x minus 1. So I have only taken n minus x from the 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x from the first term. So what will I get over there? 1 minus p. Okay, minus, what about this, the second term? ncx, sorry, n minus x. This is already taken, this is also taken, but I have taken here p raised to x minus 1. So I get a p over here, and that's it. Okay, now what about the third term? I told you I haven't touched the third term, so I just have to write that also over here. Summation ncx. I'm going to take this ncx summation thing to this third term. nr into x minus np whole raised to r minus 1 p raised to x 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x. Okay, so this is the third term. Now you have to closely consider this thing, and you have to make some arrangements over here so that you get a proper term, not a term like this. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a column over here, and I'm going to do some calculations and see what I get. X minus xp minus np plus xp. So this and this gets cancelled. Finally I get x minus np. So instead of this big thing, you can write what? You can write x minus np. Okay, so we have reached till here, but there are more steps. So let's have a look at what happens next. So in the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this 1 minus p as q, and I'm going to also divide this first term, only this first term, not the second term, this first term by pq. And if I divide the first term by pq, what should I do? Yes, I should multiply the first term by pq itself, so that the effect is nil. Okay, so let's do that, which is equal to summation ncx x minus np the whole raised to r p raised to x minus 1. Instead of 1 minus p, I can write q raised to n minus x minus 1 and x minus np. Then minus, you don't have to do anything for the second term. It is summation ncx nr x minus np the whole raised to r minus 1 p raised to x 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x. Now, as I said before, I am going to divide this first term by pq. 1 by pq summation ncx x minus np the whole raised to, so here also I have an x minus np, so I am going to combine this x minus np the whole raised to r plus 1 p raised to x minus 1. When I divide by p raised to q, I will multiply a p over here and a q over here. So I get this as p raised to x, q raised to n minus x. Yeah, that's it. And minus summation ncx nr x minus np the whole raised to r minus 1 p raised to x into, instead of this 1 minus p, I'm going to write it as q raised to n minus x. Okay, now this is equal to, so from there we started, we differentiated our mu r with respect to dp, which is equal to, what is this? 1 by pq multiplied by, now what is this? X minus np, summation x minus np the whole raised to r plus 1 multiplied by, what is this? ncx p raised to x q raised to x is certainly what it is, f of x. So what is the whole thing that is coming to you? What is it? It is mu r plus 1. Now don't wonder why, how you got mu r plus 1. How did you got that? Okay. Now summation ncx x minus np the whole raised to r plus 1, p raised to x, q raised to n minus x. Now when I consider these three terms, that is ncx, p raised to x, q raised to n minus x, I told you that it is f of x summation x minus np the whole raised to r plus 1. Now do you find this term familiar? Yes, what is it? It is expectation of x minus np the whole raised to r plus 1. Now what is expectation of x minus np the whole raised to r plus 1? That is mu r plus 1. So that is what I got over here. So that minus, now again you have a ncx over here, and r is a constant, I took it outside in r. Now what is this? ncx, p raised to x, q raised to n minus x. Yes, it is f of x. And what is this? X minus np the whole raised to r minus 1 when it is connected to the summation. When everything is connected, what is it? Yes, it is mu r minus 1. So now this is the relationship between mu r minus 1 and mu r plus 1. I hope all of you have understood the recurrence relationship. Now let's prove a result. If mu r dash denote the row moment of order r of a binomial distribution, you have to show that mu r plus 1 dash is equal to np mu r dash plus p into 1 minus p dou mu r dash divided by dp. Now this result can be showed in the same method that we have arrived at our recurrence relationship between the central moments of the binomial distribution or the Reynolds-Key formula. So the same method will be adapted in this result. To begin with the proof, I consider mu r dash. Now I hope you all know what is mu r dash. What is it? Expectation of x the whole raised to r. And when you expand it, you will get x raised to r ncx. So instead of f of x, you can write ncx, p raised to x, q raised to n minus x. Now after getting that, what we did was we differentiated mu r dash, or in the recurrence relationship of the central moments, what we did was we differentiated mu r with respect to p. In the similar way, we are going to differentiate mu r dash with respect to p. So when I differentiate mu r dash with respect to p, I get summation. Here ncx and x raised to r, I am going to take this outside, and I am only going to consider p raised to x and q raised to n minus x for the time being. So instead of q, since I am going to differentiate it with respect to p, I am going to convert this q as 1 minus p. Okay, so I hope you all know how to differentiate these two terms, right? How? So first I am going to differentiate p raised to x. So x into p raised to x minus 1 multiplied by 1 minus p raised to n minus x, that is kept as it is, minus, so how did I get this minus sign? I will come to that. P raised to x, the first term is kept as it is, into the second term is differentiated, that is n minus x into 1 minus p the whole raised to n minus x minus 1 multiplied by, here you have a minus sign, that is how you got here. Okay, multiplied by minus 1. So this is it. Then in the next step, what you are going to do is summation ncx x raised to r x raised to r in the brackets. What you get is you take this first term, keep it as it is, don't touch it for the time being. Now what you are going to do is you are going to expand this second term. So when you expand this second term, just see what you get. P raised to x is taken inside, so you get n into p raised to x into 1 minus p raised to n minus x minus 1 plus you take this, multiply this minus x and p raised to x, you get plus x raised to p raised to x into 1 minus x n minus x minus 1. So that is what you get over here. Now the next step, again you write ncx x raised to r into x. So okay, now in the next step what you are going to do is, now you have three terms over here, right? Now you are going to consider these three terms. Now when you consider these three terms, you can take some common factors outside. So you have to take the common factors x. So I took the common factor x from each of, so the next thing that you have to do is you have to take common factors. You have to consider this term and take some common factors. That is the first and the third term, and you can take some common factors outside. So I'm going to take x outside, p raised to x and q raised to n minus x. So when I take these three terms outside of 1 and the third term, in the brackets I get 1 by p plus 1 by q. Now this is not a magic. You have to go through this and then you will get it. Okay. Now I'm not going to tell you the secret about this. Okay. So you instead of 1 minus p, if you write, now you will be wondering how I got this q. So instead of this 1 minus p, wherever you find 1 minus p, now you can convert it as q. Okay. And then you try it out, and then you will get the result. So again, when you take all these things outside, you will get 1 by p plus 1 by q inside, minus I have written the second term. I told you I haven't done anything on the second term. I am going to write the second term as it is, and here also I am going to write it as q. Okay. Now what about this term 1 by p plus 1 by q? What will you get? Yes, it is p plus, when you do the calculations, you will get p plus q divided by pq. Right. So p plus q divided by pq means what? P plus q is 1 divided by pq. Okay. So let's move on to the next step. Next, I'm going to multiply, or I'm going to take this summation ncx x raised to r inside these two terms. So when I take ncx x raised to r inside these two terms, I get summation ncx x raised to r plus 1 over here, and over here I get ncx x raised to r. So what I'm going to do in the second step is I'm going to divide this whole thing by pq. So when I divide both the terms by pq, what I get is in the first term my pq gets vanished because I divided by pq, and then I get it as p raised to x, q raised to n minus x. So it's done over there, and here I get a p raised to np, and np is taken outside, and then I have a p raised to x and a q raised to n minus x over here. Then now from where did we start? We started from differentiating the mu r dash with respect to p, right? So I get it as 1 by pq, and what is this term? Yes, it is nothing but mu r plus 1 dash and minus np. What is this term? Mu r dash. Okay, so when I rearrange this whole thing, you will get this. Now here your q will become 1 minus p. So that is what you are asked to show result.